Line where we'll teach you how to work on a Wiley Sanders. We know the grass is greener. Been in business since 1959. That's not green. It's not green. Come to Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Now this is green grass. This is green money. $1,000 sign on bonus. Blue Cross Blue Shield. 401k. We match it up to 4%. Get you home regular. Good equipment. Wiley Sanders Truck Line. We do what we say. Come join the best today. Wiley Sanders Truck Line, where we put God and family first. We go to Illinois,
Indiana, North Carolina, South Carolina,
Ohio, Arkansas.
We're looking for good in-dump drivers. That's right, Wiley Sanders Truck Line. 401k, Blue Cross Blue Shield, dental plan. Hey, these wheels roll, you make money. You're not driving one of them, you're driving at the wrong place. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama. Fellas, where we go?
Indiana, North Carolina, and South Carolina,
Ohio and Arkansas.
Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. We put God and family first. Are you looking for a good company? A company that can get you home and you make good money? Then you need to call Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. Blue Cross Blue Shield. Hey, you know we still had a $1,000 sign-on bonus. We match your 401k up to 4%. We've been in business since 1959. We've been rolling these wheels with money, money, money since 1959. Come drive for the best today. Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Come to Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Tell them, Bo. Wiley Sanders Truck Line, the place that puts God and family first. How long you been driving for Wiley Sanders?
7 years.
How long you been driving for Wiley?
6 years.
How many miles you get away?
2,500.
Wow, how many miles you get away?
2,700.
Are you in the 401k?
Yes, sir.
Matching at 4%?
Yes.
Wow, Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama. Are y'all happy?
Oh, very happy.
Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama. Come drive for the best today. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama. Welcome to Wiley Sanders Truck Line, state-of-the-art bunkhouse. Let me show you. Do you like it cold? Then set it cold. Got the spouse with you? We've got you covered. Sit back in the state-of-the-art bunkhouse and watch your favorite TV show. Relax, have a good time. After a long day, you can come in the state-of-the-art bunkhouse and get a great hot shower. Look how nice they are. At Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, we keep it clean for you. Drive for the best today. Wiley Sanders Truck Line, Troy, Alabama. Wiley Sanders Truck Line been in business since 1959 and we'll still
Growing.
We've been in business since 1959 and we'll still
Growing.
Wiley Sanders Truck Line. From 1959 to 2022, we'll still
Growing.
How many years is that, Mr. Glenn?
63.
Ricky, why this T680?
Got a nice digital dashboard, easy to read.
Man, Wiley Sanders Truck Line, we got competitive pay, we got Blue Cross Blue Shield. We can get you home, Wiley Sanders. Come drive for the best today. Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Troy Cable, Ideal Graphic, Troy Bank and Trust.
Trojan Detail.
Steven Sanders Trucking, Voltage Academy of Dance.
What time is it? I need to know what time it is. And good morning and welcome to another edition of Truck Talk with Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. I am privileged. I got the one and only Mike Amos. I got the one and only Forrest Lee. But before we go into any further, let me get this first most important thing out the way. You know, at Wiley Sanders Truck Line, we put God and family first. So let's have our verse of the day. Let's go to Proverbs 1:5, and boy, you almost got to read 6 if you read 5. A person listens and takes in more instructions. A man understanding acquires skillful direction. Wow. 6 says to understand a proverb and a puzzle saying, the words of the wise and their riddles. The fear of Jehovah is the beginning of knowledge. Only fools despise wisdom and discipline. Wow, that'll get us started this morning.
Amen.
That'll get us started this morning. Mike, you know, I didn't tell you, but I can tell you now while we're on the air. You're right, you've been in this business a long time. But I think you forget when you're sitting here and you're telling me how good I do. Well, I had a great teacher. I started off in TV right over there with you.
Yeah.
I will never forget that. I remember the first time I came on and you was just talking and you made it so easy because you couldn't hear it when my knees was knocking together. But I'll always give you all the credit for that because you told me just relaxed and He kept swelling my head up, telling me I had big arms. So I was like, okay.
Excuse my language. You sure are. I don't know how good you are, but you sure are pretty.
Yeah. It'd be like my uncle told my son, Austin, when he put on his first football uniform, he was coming down through the house. My uncle looked at him. He said, "Boy, I don't know where you can play, but you sure look good in a uniform." So I don't know what you're going to do, but you look good in a uniform.
And of course, Forrest Lee the same way, hey, how he can change over from being a regular guy to Santa Claus.
It's just amazing, Mike, you was asking me earlier, and the reason I wanted you guys to come on, Troy Cable, we not one of them big networks like some of the other people, but I tell you what, when we put out something, it gets big. That toy drive, I tell you, I've had to think this whole community, especially all the churches, all the people that gave stuff to the bank, Troy Bank and Trust, everybody that gave to Wiley Sanders Truck Lines toy drive with Jordan Builders, Trojan Detail, Ideal Graphics, Kelly Sanders Place, the Voltage. I mean, it's just been phenomenal. When you look in that trailer, and if you guys get a chance, come by DHR at 10 o'clock. We're going to have a crew out there. That's a lot of stuff. It's going to be a lot of people going to be happy. About 2 weeks ago, I was out of town. My wife lost her grandfather. But the Church of the Highlands called. Rodney calls me. And they had a stack they had 21 bicycles and 8 bags of toys. And they was through with their event. They wanted to give it to us. And I was like, "Oh, we're out of town and I got the key." And I finally got up with somebody. He said, "Well, what we do about the lock?" I said, "For 21 bicycles, we cut the lock."
You know what? Basil Drake, a good friend of mine, the late Basil Drake. Did you ever know Basil Drake?
I did not know him.
Well, he was the head man with Liberty National for a long time here in Troy. And was just a great guy. And when something good happened, he would say, "Glory!" Well, you know what? Why would you say glory?
Yeah, all right.
And you ought to use that Basil Drake will forever remember. You'll be remembered for saying glory whenever he saw something he liked.
When you say glory, I'll call him later. This is Mr. Sam Lewis, Mr. John Lewis' brother. Call it glory.
He knows about it.
Yeah, I mean, that's Mr. John Lewis. That's his brother Sam. I call him back at the show. That's another glory.
Guys, when we sit here and we talk, I see you guys show in the morning times, and we sit here, and people don't know how they warm our hearts. They think it's us, but it's really the community.
Oh, yeah.
Every time I do something in Pike County, and I know you feel the same way, Mike, it's like the cakes. When you had the cake selling, I bought some cakes and I carried them out there to the office and we was eating them, and it was just Pike County people, And I say this all the time. When I go to a school, it is very easy for me to speak about Wiley Sanders Truck Lines because I can back it up with the town. Yeah. I can say we got a college, Troy University. Yeah. I can say we got good banks, Troy Bank and Trust. I can say we got good drugstores, Bird Drugs.
That's right.
I can say we got good restaurants, and I ain't gonna get into that because I get us all in trouble. But and when you can say that about your town, and then you can say, well, we've had the same mayor for over 20 years. We've had the same sheriff for over 20 years. Mm-hmm. That speaks volumes when we live in a world like we live in today. And to have a knit community, a knit built community like this. Mike, you got to go with me next year. This is my second year doing it. But I go over to the nutrition center. It's right across from the police station. Mayor Reed set that up for them old people to go over there and they play games. Well, I go over there and I play bingo with them. Had a lady call me from that other day. She wants her jacket. I told her I was going to get her a rain jacket. She sent a message to me, bring my rain jacket. But let me tell you, I go over there with those people and we play bingo, and it warms your heart when people come and see you. And the lady say,
They don't get here on 8:30 till one time of the year, Hoss. That's when you come and they come in at 8:30. And they got the little fancy bingo machine that you do on the computer.
Yeah.
I get it mixed up about halfway through it, but they still tolerate with me. But it's just good to get out in your community and do stuff.
Well, people know what a genuine person you are and what a godly person you are. That means everything to the community and people that are watching today. Hey, if you don't love the Lord, you need to see somebody and reach Jesus Christ is the reason we're here today.
That's the reason we're here. It's no doubt about that. But I tell you, that's a bicycle that's leaving with me today. If anybody wants to do something for the bicycle drive, I would say you got from 9 to 10 o'clock, because at 10 o'clock we're gonna be at DHR, WOCOB is coming. I think that's how it is. Channel 8, they're coming, and we're gonna do a little interview. But I want to make sure, and I'm gonna say this now. This is not my interview. This is Pike County's interview. This is what this county did. You know, no one man can do what we did in that trailer.
Is that on 3 Knott Street?
Huh?
Is that on 3 Knott Street?
DHR. We're going to see Ricky Free back. We're going to get in the bag, that thing down there. It's just a big deal with the truck driving up. It makes you hard. I'm worried about a person if that don't bring a little chills over you.
You're exactly right.
The Bible tells us that the weak will always be among you. Yeah. And if it tells us that, that means he wanted us to look out for them. And people are less fortunate than us, and they haven't is. I remember when I was a kid, man, a bicycle was something big to have. Oh, boy, yeah. That was something big to have.
You're exactly right.
I think I was 12.
You was 12? How old were you when you got your first one, Mike?
Well, mine was the old-fashioned English bike, and my
with the skinny wheels, the English racer.
Right. Yeah. And I was riding down the road one day, and I looked back and to say hello to some friends of mine, and I rammed into the back of a truck, a car that was parked right there, and it bent it double. And a friend of mine, Jimmy Williams, who later on played at the University of Alabama, came down there and picked it up. He said, "Mike, you're going to have to get your daddy to get you another bike." But, I love Christmas. I just love Christmas. And when I see somebody that's doing so much to help kids that don't have a lot at Christmas, it really touches my heart.
Well, Kate Nesby surprised me. What was that, last Monday when we was at Trollbank and Trust? She had a husband, and we're going to show some of those clippings when you guys get off here, but she had a husband to come out, and he was dressed as the Grinch. Yeah. And the community was just coming by. We had the radio station out there, and we was talking live on the radio, and it's just, like I say, it's the 5th year. Sometimes you can't grow because you don't want to know where you started. But I can remember when we started out there on 231 at C&H, and I had that trailer out there, and that's what I love about Mr. Sanders, my boss, man. We had 5 bicycles in it. probably had $100,000 of equipment held up with it. Didn't quit. Just come on next year and did it again. Then COVID comes in, and I forget about that I'm doing that because I get sick doing this. 2 years ago, and I get sick, and we park it right out there across the street. And boy, we started from there. And then we moved, and Kelly Sanders, God bless her, she comes in and say, "Hey, let's put the trailer there at the bank by the square, where they sell the fruit in." Yeah. She says, "A familiar place." Mm-hmm. She goes on and says, "Let's get a big sign and put on top of it." And sometimes you got something going, but you just need somebody to throw a little fuel to it. She threw that little fuel to it, and here we are now with a trailer load of stuff, and all the people and all the different organizations that have donated their stuff to Wiley Sanders and to our trailer. And it's just a trailer. It's just not us. We furnish the trailer. but this community feels that train. I want to make sure that it's clear that people know that this. I say the whole Pike County. I mean, from churches to restaurants. Got to take my hat off to Bo. There at Julia's, he fed everybody.
Bo Langford.
Yeah, he fed everybody after the big radiothon. And
well, one thing I want to mention is there's no telling the impact and the quiet stewardship and philanthropic deeds that the Wiley Sanders family has done through the years since 1959 that a lot of people, not even me, know that they've done for others. And it's giving back to others, and it's called love. And it's what this show's based on, but it's been based since 1959. But I want to thank the Wiley Sanders family and all their giving that they've done through the years for others, not just Christmas time, but 365, 366 if it's a leap year.
People talk about the COVID and they always say bad things about it. Well, it was bad. But I tell you what, it kind of got us off our high horse. And we learned to realize that if these trucks don't roll, there's certain things we don't have. Water, rice, all your stuff. Trucking moves this country. And that was, I hate to say it, but it was good for a truck driver to be noticed more, be recognized. I had so many of my drivers tell me when they was getting off at register, people was giving them water and stuff. And nobody, but I hope I don't get in trouble for this, but nobody at none of the Sanders company missed a paycheck doing that. That speaks volumes. That speaks volumes when you can say, nobody missed a paycheck. That's somebody. That's a company that's bought into the people. Say, hey, we're gonna take care of our people. And when you work for a company, people ask me about the commercials. When you work for a company, they will give you the liberty to do the things that we do. It makes it very easy.
Glory.
When you go to these schools, and you tell people that we take a battery. And I sometimes I'll take one of these batteries and I'll just start. I said, we take this battery and then we take the lead out of it and we make this. And I said, we'll take the plastic and we make this. And then I go on and I said, what's left of the battery? They said, nothing but the liquid. I said, hold up, wait a minute. We make fertilizer out of the liquid. When you got a town that can do that, one town, with 5 different, talking about KW Plastic, KW Containers, KW Recycle, Sanders Lead Company, Sanders Fertilizer. That's a lot.
I joke with Kenny. Kenny's a good personal friend of mine. We've been friends for a long time, and I love the kid that kid him. Back when in the early days, they were taking the lead out of the plastic, containers and they were throwing those plastic containers over here, and at one time it was a big old stack. Yeah, and had a guy smiling and all that big old stack. Well, sooner or later, you got to find somewhere to do with these plastic containers. Well,
I know where you're going.
Well, and I joked with him and said, and when y'all were thinking about what were you going to do, the environmentalists were down, coming in here saying you got to do something with all those containers. And then you had a meeting and had a bunch of guys standing around, and this little guy in the back says, what are we going to do with these containers? What are we going to do with the containers? And this little guy said, why don't we recycle them? Well, and Kenny and all of them started laughing. Why don't we recycle them? And now, ladies and gentlemen, Wiley Sanders, or K&W Plastics, is the largest
plastic manufacturer
in the world. And I joked with him and said it all was about that little old guy saying, why don't we recycle them? But that's not exactly the way it happened. But now you're using up everything you got.
And You know, and I didn't know this, and I've been working there a long time. And one time, me and Mr. Stephen Sanders was talking, and we was talking about the recycle process. And he said, you know, people don't look at us like that, but that's what we do. We help save the environment. You know, plastic is one of the kills more fish than anything. Yeah. It's plastic. Mm-hmm. Well, we try to save as much of it as we can. Yeah. To get lead, you have to dig into the earth. To the core of the earth. Well, we remanufacture our lead, and so we do help the environment a lot more than what people think.
Well, I mean, you found the use for the plastic casings.
Yeah, and well, you do same thing with the battery acid. I mean, you turn around and you take that and you make fertilizer with it. And that's big. Yeah, that's big. I did not know that. And you ought to see the look on a bunch of young guys and ladies that are in a school. And when I get to that part and I hold up that fertilizer, you ought to see the look. Because I've just sit here and took this junk battery that you know, and I start my conversation off by everyone. At some point in life, if you've had a car, you put a battery in.
Exactly.
If you've had a car all your life, at some point in life, you got a battery go dead. Yeah, most of the time, it ain't the convenientest time in the world. But what do? You just get you another battery and move on.
Yeah, well, the electric cars.
All of this great industry that Sanders is, Sanders companies and all this, all of it started by a young man named Wiley Sanders going out and buying batteries from different filling stations. I call it filling stations or gas stations. He would take their batteries and now you know the rest of the story.
Now you know the rest of the story. That's good. And not only from that story, then you go to talking about, you know, he was talking about Mr. Kenny Campbell. I'm part of a car wash with Matthew Jordan there on Trojan Detail. And one day, Campbell and me was talking. He was just in Sisters. And he told this little country boy something that I had never really thought about. He said, how's your business, Hoss? I said, well, it's okay. I said, you know, make a few dollars, nothing to brag about. He said, well, you got people working with you? I said, yeah. He said, well, good. You putting food on some table. Yeah. And I left there with that, and I said, here it is, a multi-man with a sure enough big company, but he has enough time to think back at this little business and realize that whoever works there, it does put food on their table.
And they do a good job of cleaning the car.
And so, you know, when you go back and you look at all the Sanders companies and stuff, you go back and you look at and you use the word table, and then you use the word plates. Next thing you know, you got a lot of tables and plates.
You know, and another thing that you know that a lot of people don't realize, when you open a paint can, I don't care where you are. You might be in Minnesota, you might be in New York City, you might be in California, wherever. You open that can and it says made by Sanders Lead Company or Sanders Plastics in Troy, Alabama.
Yeah, and you know,
every time, every paint can that's open says Wiley Sanders paint.
And I tell people, I said, when you go home tonight, I said, crawl up under your sink and look up under there. All those little fittings come from Troy, Alabama. They go, and you know, and it makes me feel proud to be a part of this community. But Mike, I haven't told you my latest news. We have, you know, me and you both, we share Dustin.
Yeah,
you know, we share him on that.
Dustin,
well, I've been blessed, and I've got Kate Nesby. She does all our internet and all our Facebook stuff, and she young, smart. She just teaching this old country boy how to go. She just teaching this old country boy how to, we was out.
Well, I tell you what, this community appreciates you and what you do, and of course what you do for the Campbell, I mean, all of the Sanders companies, and you represent them very well, my friend.
Well, we have fun, but I'm gonna tell you, me and Kate, we was out there the other day. We was shooting this little clip, and I said something real fast, and So it takes somebody to kind of, a good coach. He'll tell his football team, okay, boys, you know it, Bart.
Yeah.
Don't look at the scoreboard, look at the
Yeah.
field.
Yeah.
And the guy asked me, say, Hoss, you going to remember all that? Kate said, he'll just make it up as he go. Don't worry about Hoss.
Just make it up.
And I don't know, ladies and gentlemen, if he mentioned this, but of course, he does more with one leg than most people can do with two legs.
Well, I'm going to get that fixed. I want y'all to be praying for me, too.
Oh, yeah.
Today is my last day. I'm going to go and have surgery tomorrow. I'm going to say it's my last day, so I'm going to take a break. And it's a good time to get it fixed. And I'm tired of hurt. And I'm going to tell you, if you're out there and you're hurt, go to the doctor, because pain can turn up here.
Yeah.
It can give you all something. It makes you in bad moods when you should be happy. And I'm going to tell you something. You have to get to a little age to know this. All three of us know this. But every day you wake up, that's your joy right there.
That's right.
Huh? And
Yeah,
you wake
amen.
up on this side. My granddaddy used to say that, and I said, what's wrong with that old man? I mean, hey, granddaddy. He said, boy, it's just a
wrong
joy.
side of bed.
Yeah, I woke up on this side, and I was like, this side? What is
Yeah. Let me tell you a little story. It's fixing to get real cold. I'm talking about real cold, right around the next 4 or 5 days before Christmas. I mean, and then Christmas Day is going to be real cold. Well, I was born in a house on Orion Street, and we had one big heater in the middle of the house.
Uh-huh.
Well, the other bedrooms were cold as ice during cold weather. It was one bedroom over here and one bedroom over there. And what we would do, we would take the pillow off the bed and put it on top of the heater and warm that heater up, and then rush to the bedroom because the floor was so cold, and jump in that bed with a lot of cover. Well, what I'm telling you this, in the next few days, you're going to need a lot of cover.
a lot of cover.
And if you just got one heater in the house, hey, you better get that pillow warm.
Yeah, I like a fireplace. Mr. Wiley Sanders, he used to sit by the fire, and he told me one time, he said, it helps your bones.
Yeah.
And I built me a fireplace, and a lot of times when I'm sitting by the fire, I think about him. Matter of fact, we built a fire last night, and I know what you mean by that, because when I build a fire, it heats the living room and halfway down the hall. Well, unfortunately, my room is all the way at the other end. It'd be a little brisk when you go in there. Because it'll cut off your central heat,
Now, thanks to central air conditioning, but as a kid, boy, I tell you what, the first thing you did when you woke up in the morning was run to that heater located in the middle of the house. But,
First one up in our house had to light the heater because we didn't run the gas at night. We turned it off and you.
Well, my daddy told me that if he got up in the morning time and his mama was putting fire on that wood, he was in trouble, because it was your job if you got up in the middle of the night was to put they put a big log on it.
Right,
It was your job to put something on it. If mama was in there doing it, that means they was in trouble because somebody didn't do what they was supposed
exactly.
to do.
But let me, you talk about Wiley, Big Wiley. I've known him all my life. My best friends were next door neighbors with him, and he was regular folks, and all the way up to he paid his last respect to the Lord. He was a down to the earth guy.
Yeah, and people are still. I know his sons are still learning things from him. I know I am.
Excuse me.
A lot of times we be in a situation in life. Old folks say go over our head.
Yeah.
People tell you things, but the old people was really smart. They kept telling you, and they knew one day that you would remember some of this. And I remember Mr. Sanders used to say, Mr. Wiley Sanders used to always say when we be doing something, he'd say, we've got to do this.
Excuse me.
He looked at that place as for us.
Yeah.
It's for this community, for this town, and what it was going to do for this town. Man, when God puts somebody like that in our lives and
you know, it
gives
also-
us a chance to know them, not only know them, gives us a chance to work
Yeah.
with them and work for them. Oh, you can't beat nothing.
Excuse me.
You know, Mr. Calvert, and I've known him, like I said, he lived, you know, they lived in the same neighborhood I used to play football in there all the time. But Mr. Calvert was a genuine man, and he sort of encouraged Wiley to, you know, to own his own business and do well and so forth. But at one time, they bought pecans. That's what they did.
You told me that one.
They bought pecans and had a pecan company and bought pecans, and that's when they bought the trucks and
Excuse
so
me.
forth and everything. And you know,
Got to take my hats off to Steve Camp. He come by the office Friday, had 2 bicycles in there.
yeah, oh yeah,
He wanted to give them to us, and the ladies at Troy Bank and Trust. Oh man, we needed some kids for a commercial. They got up the cutest little boys and girls. I'm gonna let Justin play that, but I wanted to say that. But Mike, I just want to give you the great honors of saying thank you for giving me my first shot. Thank you for what you're so modest.
Yeah.
You're so modest. But
Well, no, I
every
know, I know this
cheerleader,
Harold
every
Freeman.
football team in this county,
Right.
every restaurant in this county can take their hats off to you.
Well, I appreciate it.
You
And-
keep
and
a low
I'm
key.
I'm glad to have served my community in this.
Well, you've done well.
in this regard, and of course, you know.
And I read the book that they had with you on. I want you to know I read that. And I thought I found some wonderful things in there.
Well,
And, you know, I worked with you for 6 months before I realized that I'd already been working with your brother for 15
that's right.
years.
That's right. My brother Joel worked with
Yeah.
Sanders for several years,
Yeah.
30 or 40 years. I'm
Yeah.
not exactly. And of course, he's a outstanding individual and a godly person. You know. And all I got to say is this: what we said before. This is a great community. It's a loving community. It's a caring community. I've always felt good to let anybody know that I was from Troy, Alabama, and I couldn't be prouder. And if you can't hear me, I'll yell a little louder.
Excuse me.
You can't hear me, I yell a little loud. Well, Forrest, what would you like to say before we go?
Merry Christmas. And I've got a
He
tickle
might
in my
be coming
throat.
down the chimney. He might be coming down the chimney, y'all.
Yeah, but I was fortunate to grow up in Pike County. I grew up between Goshen and Vidette, and down a little dirt road just inside of Crenshaw County. But from Saco to Tarentum to Goshen to all over this area, get out and ride the roads of Pike County and surrounding counties. There's neat communities, Henderson, Little Oak. We come from a special place and give to others, spend time with others, and it's just wonderful to be a part of. You know, I was sprinkled with Mike's dust as well. I helped him a little bit, and then, but
Does a good job.
yeah, we're just, you know, thankful for the season. You know, my mother died Christmas Eve of 1988. I met Jody in November of 88. Mother died Christmas Eve of 88. They never met, but the Lord had already introduced me to Jody a month before. But it's a special time of the regard for some of the events. You know, the Lord connects the dots.
That's
And
right.
He keeps connecting them. There's dots connected today that in 6 months wow. You know, and it's all about living and loving and believing and trying to do, you know, just be the best you can be every day. And a slogan I like to use is milk the cow dry. Don't leave any milk in the udder or it's
Exactly
the
right,
cow will turn
exactly
sour.
right.
But, you know, live today. Today's the 19th day of December. Let's milk the cow dry today. Do all we can do today.
Well, let me tell you guys
And
something.
sprinkle.
You
sprinkle
talking
up.
about that? You get a sprinkle off mine. getting ready for this surgery, I had to go to several different doctors' offices, you know. Well, I was in Enterprise, Alabama, and I'm sitting up in there, and I'm waiting on my turn, and I look up at the TV, and there's you and Mike.
Yeah.
And people was looking, and I was like, well, if that show comes on, my show comes on.
That's right.
So I noticed the lady when she got my car, she looked up at me, and I thought, okay, what did I did not fill out on that? So that was the first day. So I had to come back the next day. So the next day, time I walked in there, well, I guess they teach people that about. She said, you that guy on that TV show. I said, no, that's Mike Amos. She said, no, not the Mike Amos from Parsley. You that other guy that comes on with Wiley Sanders. You never know. They say they watch you guys because Mike is always the same cheerful guy, and they say they use that by their clock. When he comes on, they know exactly what time it is. You never know who will have you tuned in, that's why we always have to build on. I didn't, not even knowing that, just walked up in there and there it was up on the TV. I thought it was real nice.
Yeah.
Well, the key is, I know Steve started opening up with the Pledge of Allegiance and things of that nature. We have a flag on our set. In the background of yours is the American flag.
That's right.
And you opened up with scripture. And that's the key to living and loving and serving the Lord is that concept of love and Christian walk, the Christian walk with the Lord. And that's part of the theme of Sanders and the success that they have. And I'm a advocate. When I was coaching, and now I'm still coaching and teaching, but I am third. Gail Sayers, Brian Piccolo were white and black athletes who played for the Chicago Bears. They were the first roommates in the National Football League for the Chicago Bears. They were roommates for about 3 years. Brian Piccolo developed cancer. He passed away, and they were like brothers. And Gail Sayers wrote a book, I Am Third. There was a movie, Brian Song, based upon that book. But Gail Sayers, if I live, the Lord is one in my life, my friends and family are two, and I am third. So there's a book out, I Am Third, written by Gail Sayers, and using that concept. So if you're a truck driver, a TV person, a professor, a banker, technology, if you live your life that way, you're going to go to the mountaintop, and when the roll is caught up yonder, you'll be there. You'll be there.
That's one.
See that you was talking about the Lord putting the dots in the
I
eye.
am third. That's right.
I came to be on y'all show, wind up y'all coming on my show, and look how good it turned out. I thank you guys.
I am third.
I thank you guys. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
Troy Cable.
All right.
Troy Bank and Trust.
Trojan Detail.
Steven Sanders Trucking. Voltage Academy of Dance.
What time is it? I need to know what time it is. What time is
Hey,
it?
y'all tell them.
Y'all heard it. It's Christmas time. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, we're doing it again. We need your toys. We need your support. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. What time is it? Here we go. We're here at Troy Bank and Trust, right here in Troy, Alabama. Hey, Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, the employees have really came out good. Need Ken Bray, need the shop to come. Hey, I need those dispatchers. Thomas Hicks, haven't seen you yet. Kevin Baker, haven't seen you yet. Scott Maddox, haven't seen you yet. Robin Sullivan, haven't seen you yet. Have saw a lot. Trace Parker, Doug Kitchen, Doug came by. A lot of people came by. We are doing good. Hey, this is all about the kids, not us. Look at this trailer. One side is full. I love to eat. I can't eat till we get the other side full. Haven't had no lunch. I'm getting weak. I'm getting weak. I need some food, Pike County. I need you to come see about me. And guess what? Bring your kids out. We got a special treat. Come on, Grinch, come on up here. We got a special treat for the kids. We got a special treat. Bring your child out. Let him take a picture with the Grinch. The Grinch is real friendly. He's got all the toys. We got them all around. I got 2 guys going to get some stuff. They're coming back. Little Kai is here. Come here, Kai. Come here. Come here, little girls. Come here, girls. Come here, girls. Now, you want to tell me you wouldn't come see these beautiful little girls right here. You wouldn't come see these 2 beautiful little girls. I mean, you can't be, look at there. Look at there. Kai. How you doing? All about them, y'all, not us, all about them. Right here, Troy, Alabama, Troy Bank and Trust, 231 Highway. We're looking for you, and everybody. Got the big KD here. Hey, Killer Dill is here. Felicia's kind of talking about Pike County. I need y'all to show up and show out. That's it. Y'all be glad you come to Pike County. Ain't nobody this good stood beside you till you come to Pike County. That was Derek Thompson, and you know Derek called me last night. Say, I got my bicycles house, I'll be down here with him. He's so happy you standing by him. Don't move. He'll go to crying. He's so happy. Felicia, do you have any second thoughts about what you said about Pike County?
Okay.
I mean, you know, because all I keep seeing is pickups driving them.
Yeah, they keep, and then they
and
driving
people
stuff
driving
off.
them, ladies driving them. And you know,
they driving stuff off. I mean,
and Killer sitting over here, he's smiling. You know why he's smiling though?
I know why.
It's almost time to eat.
It's almost. Yeah, I'm smiling too.
It's almost time.
Watching the clock.
There you go, Felicia.
Man, I tell you, you know what, Troy? You know, I might have to come back this way. I
Okay.
might have to come back because I really, y'all been representing. You know, y'all showed up and showed out for me today, and I appreciate that. We still got time, though. We still got time. I know it's somebody with that big
Go
head
bring me
hundred
something.
they want to drop off them big head hundreds over here, baby, so they can get these toys for the kids. We are at Troy Bank and Trust. It's probably a bank that you bank in. I know you got a couple dollars in there. Now, come on.
Yeah.
Make a withdrawal and come on see House Daddy. And let's take care of these kids. Look, we're taking toys. We're taking bikes. The Grinch. The Grinch was out here somewhere.
The Grinch got wet.
He
He got a little wet.
He tried to steal Christmas.
You know that hair. He got a little wet. He got a little wet. He couldn't win. He got a little wet. He couldn't win. Couldn't win. Yeah, he couldn't win.
You guys, come on. You know what? What time is it? What time? About 11:30, 11:20.
11:20.
Okay, I'm hungry now. I'm gonna tell you this. I'm hungry, but I'm gonna give y'all a few more minutes.
Yeah.
And then I'm hightailing it out of here because y'all.
We're going to Julius.
Julius.
We're going to Julius restaurant.
Tell me what Julius was.
We're going to Julius restaurant. We're going to eat till we get weak.
Okay. That's how I like it.
We're going to eat till we get weak. We're not going to let you come to Pike County. We don't give you Southern hospitality.
Okay.
You know, Killer, who working? Costi? Tell Costi to play Southern Soul Man. When I get my legs straightened out next week, that's what I'm going to be. I'm going to have a growl when I talk. You know, when I say the D-A-D-D-Y.
All right.
At Wiley Sanders Strut Lines, we put God and family first. We've been in business since 1959. Come drive for the best today. Wiley Sanders Strut Line. Blue Cross Blue Shield, 401k. Woo! We got the trucks. Come to Wiley Sanders Strut Line. Tell them, boy. Some companies may tell you that the grass is greener. At Wiley Sanders, we know the grass is greener. Been in business since 1959. That's not green. It's not green. Come to Wiley Sanders Strut Lines. Wiley Sanders Strut Line. Now, this is green grass. This is green money. $1,000 sign-on bonus. Blue Cross Blue Shield. 401k. We match it up to 4%. Get your home regular. Good equipment. Wiley Sanders Strut Line. We do what we say. Come join the best today. At Wiley Sanders Strut Line, we keep it nice and clean. Thank you. And thank you. And thank you.
You're welcome.
Nice and clean.
Nice and shiny.
Are you an experienced driver looking for a good truck driving job? Then try Wiley Sanders Strut Lines. We're looking for team drivers. We're looking for single drivers. At Wiley Sanders Strut Line, we have it for you. Wiley Sanders Strut Lines. Blue Cross Blue Shield, 401k. Drive for the best. Wiley Sanders Strut Line, we know one thing. Drivers first. Hey, y'all see those big trucks? I called. I said, bring one of them trucks out here. I'm tired of listening to Killer. Pull it up here, Ricky. Yeah, that's one of them. That's one of them. You're in Pike County, man.
Sneaky truck, man.
Why don't you get up there and me and Killer hand them to y'all? So it'd be two. gonna tell y'all, I ain't into that physical labor. Boy, I ought to just crawl in there just to show him I can. Lord. And we load them up. We load them up. Pike County, Alabama. Every job needs a good supervisor, I call that.
They got the right one.
Huh?
They got the right one, baby.
Every job needs a good.
Wait a minute now. I need to take a picture of this. You got Killer Dilla working with me.
Damn right, he in Pike County. You're not just a number. We know your name. Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Family owned. Troy, Alabama. Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Come drive for the best today. We got Blue Cross Blue Shield. Hey, we can get you home. Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Been rolling these wheels since 1959. Money, money, money. Just rolling these wheels. If these wheels roll, you make money. Come drive for the best today. Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Troy, Alabama. Wiley Sanders Truck Line. We put God and family first. Bo, tell them. Hey, what are you doing?
I'm working underneath this truck.
Oh man, can you work on diesel trucks?
No, I can't.
Do you know that Wiley Sanders will train you to work on diesel trucks?
Really?
In a shop.
In a shop?
A shop. My man, you made it.
Yes, sir, I did.
You came to Wiley Sanders to a shop. How you like teaching this young man?
I enjoy helping these guys be successful.
So if they can work on a little truck, you can teach them how to work on a big truck.
Yes, sir, we sure can.
Come to Wiley Sanders Truck Line where we'll teach you how to work on a big truck. Wiley Sanders Truck Line, where we put God and family first. We go to Illinois,
Indiana, North Carolina, South Carolina,
Ohio, Arkansas.
We're looking for good in-dump drivers. That's right, Wiley Sanders Truck Line. 401k, Blue Cross Blue Shield, dental plan. Hey, these wheels roll, you make money. You're not driving one of them, you're driving at the wrong place. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama. Fellas, where we go?
Indiana, North Carolina, and South Carolina.
Ohio and Arkansas.
Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, we put God and family first. Are you looking for a good company? A company that can get you home and you make good money? Then you need to call Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. Blue Cross Blue Shield, hey, you know we still had a $1,000 sign-on bonus. We match your 401k up to 4%. We've been in business since 1959. We've been rolling these wheels with money, money, money since 1959. Come drive for the best today. Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Come to Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Tell them, Bo. Wiley Sanders Truck Line, the place that puts God and family first. How long you been driving for Wiley Sanders?
7 years.
How long you been driving for Wiley?
6 years.
How many miles you get away?
2,500.
Wow, how many miles you get away?
2,700.
Are you in the 401k?
Yes, sir.
Matching at 4%.
Yes.
Wow, Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama. Are y'all happy?
Oh, very happy.
Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama. Come drive for the best today. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama. Welcome to Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, state-of-the-art bunkhouse. Let me show you. Do you like it cold? Then set it cold. Got the spouse with you? We've got you covered. Sit back in the state-of-the-art bunkhouse and watch your favorite TV show. Relax. Have a good time. After a long day, you can come in the state-of-the-art bunkhouse and get a great hot shower. Look how nice they are. At Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, we keep it clean for you. Drive for the best today. Wiley Sanders Truck Line, Troy, Alabama. Wiley Sanders Truck Line been in business since 1959 and we'll still
Growing.
We've been in business since 1959 and we'll still
Growing.
Wiley Sanders Truck Line. From 1959 to 2022, we'll still
Growing.
How many years is that, Mr. Glenn? Ricky, why this T680?
Got a nice digital dashboard, easy to read.
Man, Wiley Sanders Truck Line, we got competitive pay, we got Blue Cross Blue Shield. We can get you home, Wiley Sanders. Come drive for the best today. Wiley Sanders Truck Line.
Back with Truck Talk with Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. You know, to talk to Mike Amos and Forrest Lee for that length of time, and those guys are legends in this community. They're legends. They're what you call a stone corner. Mike, That was a true story, ladies and gentlemen. My first start on TV was with Mike Amos, and it's really grown from there. And they say you never forget where you come from. So I take my hats off to Mike and Forrest Lee. But I'm getting excited. Boy, Kate is here. We're going out to DHR. They was asking me who was supposed to be on the show this morning. Natasha from DHR. I knew that was supposed to happen. I don't know what me and her didn't communicate or what, but I know they'll be there because they can't move that building, and we'll be there with the bicycles. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. My heart, I will start crying if I go thinking about that stuff that's in that trailer. Wiley Sanders Truck Line, thanks you so much for that. Thank all the businesses. The Highlands, man, that was so sweet of y'all to have her been at your church and give us what was left over, which was a lot. I'll take your leftovers any day. Please call us. And all the ladies at Troy Bank and Trust, every time I go in there, y'all are calling me and telling me we got some other things. This year was bought from Enterprise State School, this bicycle here. I'm going to take it with me when I leave. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we're wrapping this up. To the Neutral Center, ladies, thank you so much. I've got a lot of emails, a lot of calls from you ladies that enjoyed it. Some of the guys would call, hey, I enjoyed it too. I want y'all to know, Mr. Trace Parker told me to have a little something different gift for y'all this year when I come. So I don't know. Got to get something special, maybe a quilt or something. He wants those little pretty ladies to have something a little more than a hat. So maybe some sweaters. I don't know what we're going to work out. I'm going to get with him next year. Kate will probably remind me, and we're gonna come and we're going to bring you some gifts. Those clippings you were seeing a while ago was last Monday, wasn't it? Yeah, it was last Monday. We had a big radiothon, Pike County, once again. Hey, hats off to you. Wow, did we get the stuff. And to my two drivers, too. Let me start right now, because they're going to be with me today. Anthony Knight, Adrian McBride, thank you guys. Thank you guys for being the runner. I thank all my drivers, because once again, I can say it again, I have not asked a driver to help with this that did not say yes. That's high ranking. And speaking of that, I had some comments from, well, I remember some of them. I didn't bring them with me. Drivers, we're going to address the issue, excuse me, of the pillows. And we're going to address that issue of the pillows in the bunkhouse. We're going to address the issue of the mattress. But like I always tell you guys, when something comes up, I have to tell you the channels we have to go through. I did some research. That mattress is made for that bed to square in that. Now, you have to realize when we're making these decisions on the bunkhouse and the material and the things we buy, safety is the first thing, cleanliness. That was designed for an easy cleanup. Can we get something different? I don't know. I'm bringing it to Ronnie Bozeman. We're going to look into it. But I want you to know, nobody went out and just got you a mattress because it was cheap. No, it wasn't that. It was very expensive and very nice. Now, some things you get just don't hit the mark. I can't say that we might have missed it and we may need to do something different. But I want to tell you the reason that we did that. That is for safety and cleanliness. And, you know, it says everybody go to say it. I'm getting a lot of complaints about the bed not being comfortable and the pillows being flat. And I think one of the first things we're going to do about the pillow situation, you can get 2 pillows. You can ask for 2 pillows. And while I'm at this, let me just go on and dive on off into it. The reason that we don't, and I know you can look at this on 2 different ways. I'm just the messenger. I'm just the middleman, okay? So let me say this. The reason we don't like you to carry 1 bag in, they're trying to eliminate the things that goes into the bunkhouse. Those ladies do a phenomenal job of cleaning that. And what they're trying to do is just keep it clean. Okay, I had a guy to tell me, well, you can have something in that 1 bag. I go along with that. But if you got two bags, you can have two somethings in it. So we just try to keep it down. I mean, nobody likes rules and regulations. Sometimes people don't like them, but most of the time they're there for a reason, and that's the reason. There's nobody trying to be mean to nobody. In the near future, will we change a little bit? I don't know. But it's for your safety, your protection. We want to keep everything as clean as we can. Ladies and gentlemen, COVID is still out there. What is that, Kate? RSV that they're talking about now? RSV is out there. And that other one. So we're trying to keep it as clean as we can. So bear with us on this, please. We're going to be looking into it, though. Ronnie is going to look into it. But the reason for it, once again, if you look the next time you're in there, it fits in there like a socket. It just fits down in there. And that's why we went with that one. Now, can we buy a thicker one that'll fit down in there? We don't know. That's something we're finna go to looking into. But it is, I have got your suggestions on the bottom. I am looking into it. I had another suggestion about the cats. Please, ma'am, please, sir, work with us on this. We bought cat kennels. If you put your cat in that cat kennel and then sit him in a dog kennel, nothing is going to bother your cat. I am sorry, but we cannot have animals in the bunkhouse. I know I'm getting asked about that. And I know it's one case that I've dealt with. That is a service dog. Now, I want to say this to you. Ladies and gentlemen, please start keeping your service dog records with you. Because I know around the first of the year, we're going to be checking that. We're going to get a little tight on that because most people now just holler service dog. So we're going to make sure these are service dogs. And once again, this is not to be mean to nobody. This is to be courtesy for others. And I want to say this in a nice way, and I want to make sure I don't hurt nobody's feelings because that's not what I'm here to do. But if you got an animal, and if it is a service dog, and you're in the driver's lounge, and maybe somebody has allergies, why not be courtesy and step to your truck if you can? I mean, let's all just work together. That's your bunkhouse and driver's lounge. So work together to make it convenient for your fellow co-drivers. And once again, I want you to tell all your friends. I got me some young help. Kayla help me if I get confused. But I want you to lay down what you made, the company you was working for. I'll lay down what you would have made if you'd been working for Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Let's compare. But now when we compare, let's compare Blue Cross Blue Shield. Let's compare the secondary insurance. Let's do the 4% match of your gross pay now. Not of your net, but of your gross pay. Let's put how much you got home. Let's put equipment. Hometown, knowing you by your name, not just a number. I know my drivers by their name, not just their truck number. Now, let me say this. First of the year is coming fast. This is the time now to make great decisions. I don't believe in that New Year's resolution. I believe in every day, try to be better than you was the next day. Drivers, man, we got some new equipment coming in. Jump on board. Let's go to work. Let's make money. Let's have a good time. The mistakes we made in 2022, let's not make them in 2023. Let's strive to be better. Somebody may say, well, I didn't do nothing wrong. Okay. Be better at doing better. If you was good, be better at doing that. And when I talk about the insurance, I like to talk about things I have experienced. Here I am again, finna have surgery. Once again, lay my Blue Cross Blue Shield card on the table. I'm good to go in the morning. I'm ready to just go in and check in because of the fact I have good insurance. They spoke to the insurance company. Everything's good. Everything's good. So I'll brag on the insurance again. So far, I think I've had maybe a couple $100 out of my pocket. You know, I don't know what it'll wind up being, but that's not bad. That's not bad. A medical bill, ladies and gentlemen, a medical bill could financially ruin you for life without insurance. I am dead serious. You say, well, I ain't got nothing, they can't get nothing. They'll fix it where you won't never have nothing. So have you some insurance. I'm getting those 3 minutes on the wall. I guess, I feel something funny. This is the last time in 2022 we will talk. The next time we talk will be in 2023. And I speak that with confidence because I know we serve a God that is willing and able to do anything. But I want to take my hats off to Steve Camp for making this show successful again another year, to Desta for putting up with me in all the crazy places I want to go and all the crazy things I want to do. Thank you. I want to give Kate Nesby a big thing. Ladies and gentlemen, you just don't know. She makes me look good. She brings so many things to the table, and he much brought a husband to the table this time. I cannot forget that. That man is all. He's my hero. Because I love anybody that would do things for kids, and it ain't all about us, y'all. It's about those little kids that's coming up. That's our future. We did our mark. It's time for us to make room and make things nice for those little kids that's coming up. So, Kate, I thank you for everything you did in 2022. I look forward to working with you in 2023. Truck Talk with Wiley Sanders Truck Line is, we ain't going nowhere. Company been in business since 1959, and we ain't going nowhere. If you need a good job, driving a truck with good benefits, please, ma'am, please, sir, give me a call and let me explain some of the things to you. Call me at 334-372-5049. Well, as I always say, be good until the next time. This has been Truck Talk with Wiley Sanders Truck Line. See you at DHR, 10 o'clock. See you at DHR, 10 o'clock.
Troy Cable, Idea Graphic, Troy Bank and Trust,
Trojan Detail.
David Sanders Trucking. Voltage Academy of Dance.
What time is it? I need to know what time it is. What time is
Hey,
it?
y'all tell them.
Y'all heard it. It's Christmas time. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, we're doing it again. We need your toys. We need your support. Wiley Sanders Truck Line. What time is it? Wiley Sanders Truck Line been in business since 1959, and we'll still. We've been in business since